Hello and welcome to the Magic the Blabbering podcast. This is your host Nick with Josh, and today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of spoilers, leaks, some new information, and plenty of fun and interesting gameplay announcements from Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, crazy ban update today, but we're gonna get to that later. I think we're definitely gonna cover it. But first, did you see
First, I
Garrett?
want to talk about that ooze. Yeah,
Garrick's back. We got a little teaser of that with the Muraganda Aether Drift spoilers.
yeah. It looks like you got a railroad or this edge, or it's the edge of the road. There's a car coming, and there's a ton of oozes of all varieties just kind of meandering toward the road. I mean, one looks like kind of like a cubone, one looks like an elephant, but inside the elephant, we see a familiar axe wielder
Yeah.
silhouette in there.
So,
So pretty interested.
do you think he's inside the ooze or just on the other side of the ooze?
Beats me, man. How do oozes work? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
This
don't
like
know.
I wonder if this is a whole new ooze tribe we're gonna get. I mean, it screams like goblins, not goblins, zombies, not zombies. They look kind of cute, look kind of cool. I mean, if this is how we're gonna do oozes, I think this might be the way to make them a thing.
Yeah.
So, but it's
Yeah.
cool to see Garrick on his way back. We haven't seen him since what? Eldraine?
Eldraine, yeah. Throne of Eldraine, right? Or original Eldraine.
Something like that. One of the Eldraines where he was with the twins, and then he like,
Yeah, he went to go try to find them and then kind of just disappeared.
yeah, that's my memory of the last time we seen Garrick. So cool
Yeah.
to see a familiar face coming back and
Yeah.
being on the primal plane kind of makes sense. He's Garrick Primal Hunter, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. So he's maybe just doing his thing,
Yeah.
back to his roots. Maybe we'll get a reprint, a spicy reprint of Garrick Wildspeaker, maybe, or something like that. But he'd be a good lead for the Muraganda faction if that's how they kind of set the setup. So
Yeah. Lots of 3/3 beasts on that plane, I'm guessing.
yeah, it must be just overwhelming with them, or some
Hmm.
wolves or something. Mostly beasts, mostly
Yeah.
beasts. But yeah, very cool to see him. I'm happy to see him. He was the first planeswalker I played with back in the day.
Yeah.
First planeswalker I opened.
One
Just
of the OGs from Lore One.
extremely powerful card. I don't know about by today's standards, but back in the day, he was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I had seen him in a command every once in a while untapping some powerful lands. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, was happy to see that. And then that's not the only thing we kind of seen, kind of sneaking through Spoiler Town, right? Uh,
The witch, is that what you're talking about? The
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
little witch academia type of thing, looking like it's peeking its head on Arena.
On Arena, yeah.
Uh,
So Arena, they spoiled, or they released some special sleeves from a secret lair that nobody had ever heard of before. And on desktop, if you click on the little like question mark next to the sleeves, it actually lists the cards that the art's for.
yep,
And
it
it
says.
was four cards.
Yeah, I see it right here. We got four cards. So Secret Lair, Adventures of the Little Witch. It says Secret Rendezvous, Serenity, Eski's Chariot, Realms Uncharted. Those are the
Yeah.
cards. I don't know what Serenity. Isn't that an enchantment like blows up on your upkeep and like destroys all artifacts and enchantments
Yeah,
or something?
I think it's one in a white. It was just reprinted in the Mystery Booster too with the Future
Oh,
Sight frame. Yeah, I think it's one in a white and kills all artifacts or all enchantments. One of those.
yeah. Yeah, that's it exactly. At
Yeah,
the beginning of your upkeep, destroy all artifacts and enchantments that can't be regenerated. Ooh.
yeah,
And then Eskia's Chariot, which that was a card I was really struggling to get a hold of a while back, and now it's got a probably prettier art. I'm seeing the little edges. This is a secret layer that's kind of tickling my Studio Ghibli,
yeah.
thing going on, and I really kind of like it. But
Well,
I don't know. These cards aren't really like bangers for me. I do play Eskia's
yeah.
Chariot, but in Realms Uncharted from time to time. But I'm interested. I like the art style. I'm very into it, so I'm kind of curious.
So on the Secret Lair, like the day after this came out on Arena, like the day after on the Secret Lair website, they had like the witches back or the witches can you find the witch or something? This is a little teaser about the secret lair, and I guess it's based off
Oh.
of off a book or something called the like Adventures of the Little Witch or something like that.
I wonder if it's a precursor to like Kiki's Delivery Service or some Japanese property I'm not aware of or something like that. But
Yeah,
Scary Eddie, something
yeah,
like that.
I heard it's a book. It's about a witch that like is not bad, but like she grows up and the witches like teach her to be bad or something. So yeah.
Oh no, that's sad. I like the other side where she's just cute and good and not bad. So, but it looked these all look pretty and cute. I'm interested.
Yeah,
Might try to pick up a couple singles. I haven't played a couple of these cards in a while though, so but they're gorgeous. I like what I'm seeing. So,
yeah,
but that's cool. So we're just spilling things, and then heard you telling me a little bit about you go to the pre-release pretty regularly,
yeah,
and there's been a little bit of a change with the pre-release engaging with Arena, right?
yeah. So yeah, with the pre-releases, used to you got a little card in your pre-release kit that had a code on it, and you would put that code into Arena, and you get 6 packs for whatever set it was that you went to the pre-release for. Those are going away. They're taking those out, and it's gonna just be tied to your Magic account. So whenever you go to play, you get on the companion app, log in with your Magic account, and then they'll keep track of that based on the app, I believe, and then automatically put those cards into your collection on Arena. So
Oh, okay.
um, I'm torn on this one because like I don't know, like, so with the codes used to be you could use 5 of them per pre-release. So if you got 5 different codes, you could use all 5 and get basically 30 packs. They used to limit it to one, but with Lost Caverns of Ixalan's when they changed it to 5. And
Hmm.
so are you going to be able to like do up to 5 pre-releases and get codes? That's the only question I have really. It does kind of suck that like people who don't play Arena, they used to just hand out give their friends their codes and stuff. There's not going to be any of that happening now. So
Well,
um,
now if you play Arena and you want your free packs, I guess you got to go to the real pre-release, and I'm sure
yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of what they want more than the free double dipping. But
yeah,
what you said about multiplying up, I wouldn't bet on it, but I guess it could be nice if
yeah,
they let you multiple up. They're going to be like, you did a pre-release. Here's your 6 packs. That would be my guess.
yeah.
The not friendliest way, but I don't know. I didn't even think about those forever, but I haven't been to a pre-release I think since the pandemic, so or the
Oh wow.
panini. I don't know what we want to say, but it's been a while. I just the booster packs ever since collectors boosters, it just seems like I go open packs that aren't worth it. There's not a promo guarantee that is like going to draw me in. I always go back in my memory back to when I started playing and like a Johnny Vengeant, Wormcoil Engine. They were just
Yeah.
$20 cards that came with your pre-release, so you might as well just your pre-release was almost free just in a promo. And
Emrakul Eon.
nowadays,
Emrakul Eon's
yeah,
torn. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you really would get some bangers, and that would
Yeah.
really draw me in. I mean, it made you feel like you weren't playing for free, but it made you feel like you were playing for free. Tournament players got 1 card for their deck. You could get your 4 cards. It make you want to play 4 pre-release flights. I mean,
Uh
that
huh.
automatically, if I played standard, I was like, I'm jamming 4 pre-releases. I mean, that
Yeah.
happened. I got my playset of Demigod of Revenge. I remember,
Yep. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I mean, that seems like a positive experience to me, but
Well,
you know,
you only had to do 2 shards of Alara pre-releases because you got it was the same for the pre-release and the release. You got the same card. That was the first time they did
oh,
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You can still get your Johnny, but they were all heavily played cards and like tournament staples, and that really kind of always set the stage for new set. It kept me hype. You play with a bunch of limited, then you want to play standard with the new card that you got. Your chase cards guiding you to a deck, and if it's not, you can trade those to people who are trying to play that deck to build your deck.
Yeah.
But that was the old model. I don't know what the new model is, but
You know.
I just don't see a lot of gateways that are dragging me towards it. And when I look at think about the booster pack situation, it's like I've seen people in recent history opening, collectors boosters versus opening non-collectors boosters, and I'm just like, A, why would I ever buy a single booster anymore?
Mm-hmm.
B, anytime I see someone open a non play booster, I'm like, that's a mistake. And anytime I see somebody open a collector's booster, it's like,
That's
feels like it's
also that's also
50-50.
a mistake.
Well, no, I mean, like it's a 50, you're flipping a coin to get something good, where the other ones
Yeah,
feel like you're just throwing money into the trash.
yeah,
So, so I don't know. I find it hard for me to be compelled to go to the pre-release, and the limited I've watched and seen and played in recent history does not really give me a lot of diversified gameplay from what I've seen. So just not really pitching it to me very well. I want to play. I love going to the pre-release. Even when I was like lightly playing Magic, I would still go to the pre-release. I think all the way through Amonkhet, even everything before the pandemic. I think I still went to every pre-release and
yeah,
had fun, and just I'll get some of my commander cards, because I only need a couple of those. I don't need like a ton. So it's like sweet, I can pick up my singles, but now it's like, hell, I can't even get, if I open the card I want, it might not be the version I want for my commander deck, and then
yeah,
and then I'm probably not gonna open it, and then so it's just kind of like, it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't like make me want to go to the pre-release, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
I went to every single one this year. The
okay.
only one I really didn't care for was Karloff Manor.
Oh yeah.
All the other ones I had a lot of good time at. Like the MH3 pre-release was probably my favorite. I did open an Emrakul, so that helped. But that was probably the most fun. The Foundations was pretty fun. I think probably yeah, Modern Horizons and Thunder Junction was probably my two favorites this year. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like playing in those events. I like any chance I get to play in person, in a like a limited format, whether it's draft or pre-release or I'm down for that. So that's since I can't play standard really anymore, since nobody really plays standard around here, which hopefully that's coming back. Pre-release is really my only shot, so I look forward to it. So
Yeah, I mean, and I get that if that's your main source of Magic, period, and it's one I like. It's just I feel like since I play enough Commander, I'm just compelled to spend my dollars one way or the other. And
yeah,
it used to kind of feel like it wasn't like directly one to one, like I get what I need, but it made it feel like, okay, even if it's not what I need, I get a good experience. I get some of what I need,
yeah.
or a good chance. And now it's like, I'm not going to get the cool Lumra I want, so I'll just buy that, and then whatever.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you're paying for the play experience. So
Yeah,
I wish they would.
yeah,
So they have the ability to link our arena accounts with our real life accounts. I wish they would bring back like player rewards. I mean, because it wouldn't be that hard to just okay, you have played in X amount of standard events, this month or the last quarter. Here's some cosmetics for arena, or here's some rare or mythic wild cards for arena. It wouldn't be that hard to do. And they could even come out like they could even like do the old player rewards and just release them on arena, like the cool Wrath of God, or Damnation art, and put it on arena, and that's your player rewards and stuff. I really miss those, and like it's just so easy for them to do. I would think if everything's connected. I don't know why they're not doing that. I wish they would bring that back. I really love those. So,
yeah. Bizarre.
but
Well,
they do reward you for playing in multiple pre-releases though, because this year they started a thing where if you played in more than one pre-release, you would get a little pin, and they're they were pretty cool. They like the one for Thunder Junction was the Planeswalker symbol that looked like a cactus. They did like a trying to think. The Murders at Karloff Manor was like the symbol, the seal. Trying to remember what the other ones were, but so now they're like kind of stepping up their game with that actually. And if I don't know if you know the company Pinfinity, they have like AR pins. Like you scan them with your phone, and they do like motion or something. And they have play mats that do the same thing. But the Pinfinity are making the pins for doing multiple pre-releases. So I think that's kind of cool. They're stepping that up in quality a little bit. Kind of looking forward to what that kind of looks like, and I'm kind of looking forward to see what the one for Aether Drift is going to be. If it's going to have like I want it to be like a little tire with the Planeswalker symbol in the middle, and then like
Uh,
if you scan it with your phone, it like does a burnout and like smoke comes out of it or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. But
that'd be so cool. And pins are a good thing that kind of are a good confluence with Magic. If you
yeah,
know anything about PAX, the PAX conventions, PAX South, PAX
hmm
East, PAX West, I don't think there's a South anymore, but there's pin craziness. Like there are pins on pins on pins,
yeah,
and that's a good space. There's a lot of desire for pins, and these will appeal to those people possibly too. So
it's the same way at MagicCons too. They've because they release a set of I don't know 12 or 15 pins for every MagicCon, and they're real good quality pins. They come on a giant they come on a big oversized card of what the character of the pin is. And they look really cool. So they have like a pin traders league at MagicCon and stuff where you can like play games and win pins and stuff. And
mhm.
so yeah, pins are pretty big in Magic, especially at MagicCon. It's got a pretty big
Oh,
following. So yeah,
how long has that been going? That's been going on for a while.
since well, mostly I'm trying to think. I think Magic 30 had the character pins for sure. For sure after Magic 30. I'm pretty sure Magic 30 had the pins, but they come in blind packs, so you don't know which pin you're getting. So it's like loot boxes for pins, basically.
Oh,
And there's like chase pins and stuff. So yeah, but I
huh,
think they've been
okay.
doing it ever since Magic 30. I think they've done it at every MagicCon. So
Oh, cool. So they're just
yeah,
expanding on that. Okay,
yeah.
maybe bleeding that into the regular Magic scene a little bit more. I like that. Yeah. Well, and thinking, speaking of ways to play, we talked a little bit about playing the way we want to play, and you know where and when. Well, I still play Magic Online when I can't get my fix, and what I've heard is that you can pay $25 to get or 25 tickets to get to play with any card on MTGO for 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow, that's pretty epic.
it gives you so you buy this ticket that lasts 2 weeks. It's coming up. I think when is it this? I think it's this week. Yeah, I think it starts actually. So by the time you listen to this podcast, it will have started. It ends January 2nd, I
Oh,
think. And
it's time gated. It's not just a forever thing.
yeah, well, so I think I think you buy it if you buy it. Like if you buy it on January 1st, I think you only get 1 day. So it's like a 2 week event that you buy access to, and you get access to all the cards on Magic Online, so you can kind of test decks and brew and stuff like that without wasting tickets and stuff
In
buying
real life money.
cards. Yeah, real life money on buying cards and stuff. So
That's
see,
interesting. I mean, that's
yeah, it's
I feel like the existence of MTGO is somewhat paired to like being able to play some of these older formats, and since they just shook up, modern with such a and some other formats with some big shakeups where they're probably mostly played predominantly.
yeah,
Kind of nice to give them a time to be like, hey, grind it out, and also do some data mining for us so we can learn what's going on with the format. But
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
good confluence of
I
goals.
think the timing is because it's right after this ban announcement, and it's right after the season ends. Because I think the next season doesn't start till March. So I think the timing for this is so people can kind of get ready for the next cycle, of tournaments and stuff. So
And might
25.
also get some red flags in case some of those unbans were a
Yeah,
little
yeah, that's true.
too spicy.
But I think $25 is kind of steep for 2 weeks though. Like if it was like $25 a month to play unlimited Magic Online, what do you think about that?
Honestly, So kind of echo when we were talking about the pre-release. I feel like that's cheap. I feel like that's
Yeah.
actually kind of reasonable. I mean, I can play any type of Magic I want with my friends. Go completely bonkers. I could pretend to be any online Magic content creator. Like we can do any type of
Yeah.
deck. We can do. I mean, aside
Yeah.
from cards that just aren't on MTGO, which unfortunately there are some, you could literally for 2 weeks do whatever you wanted in
Yeah.
Magic. Like to me, that sounds pretty fantastic. Because I usually am doing a little budget BS on MTGO. Because I'm not trying to spend. I'm
Right.
cashing in weird cards that cost a lot to play with my garbage cards. But I think that actually sounds fantastic. If you have a group of friends who are really like high into Magic, but like have some distance between you, like and don't hate MTGO for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be great. I mean, um, if I just needed a group that's ready and willing, and I think there's a lot of Discord communities, a lot of places that could really take some big advantage of that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we want to play a bunch, but we're all kind of broke. But hey, for the whole Christmas season when we have the most time off of the
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
let's go nuts and play as much Magic as we can. And then at the end of that, you can go, hey, maybe this was a good way to play Magic online to play together. It's cheap,
Yeah.
then looking into it because that's an experience in and of itself. And I really am into that idea a
Do you
lot.
think they're testing the waters for this new Commander video game thing they're talking about? Like, are they testing the waters to see, like, will people pay $25, every 2 weeks or $50 a month to play Magic? Like,
No, I think the main goal is to target the people who are
already
trying to
playing?
play. No, I think they're trying to make this like testing thing go on for the other formats as
Oh,
we'll
I
get into a
see.
little later on the banning. I think that's the main goal. But I'm just saying for me, if a guy who's completely not even paying attention to that, that sounds great. And for
Yeah.
people who I know who do play modern, I'm sure that is an upgrade to having to spend the time to sleeve decks and stuff. You can just
Yeah.
import a deck list.
Yeah,
It saves you all the time,
that's true. And you can just, yeah,
any time of day,
you
middle
can,
of your workday. If you have one of those sit down jobs where you don't do anything like for a decent part of the time,
yeah.
bam, battling.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's true. That's fair.
a lot of Magic community, I'm pretty sure, are some working professionals with desk jobs that have a lot of meetings and a lot of meetings you can hit mute on. So you guys can game while whatever's happening, and
Yeah, nothing's
you
going
know,
on in the office because of the holidays.
or at least on your lunch hour or whatever. Maybe you can't get away from your child and kid, but you are allowed to sit in front of your computer a
uh,
little bit. Maybe you can stay up a little late and play some games. I mean,
yeah.
it seemed like an all around good thing to me. I mean, if I had access to a subscription service for Magic the Gathering that was the whole thing all the time, I would probably spend it. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's a little low, like 25 is a little high, but
Yeah.
honestly, for some subscription service, you talk about watching shows and stuff. This is fully interactive. I can play with my friends. As long as my friends are all into it, I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, like the
But
only
playing it into that Commander video game, I mean, if it's that good, I mean, maybe I'm saying yes. I don't know.
yeah. Okay. It's to me it's just a little steep on price. Like $25 a month, maybe. But yeah. That's the only I think it's a cool deal. It's trying to get people, get Magic online in front of more eyeballs and get people to kind of play that versus Arena, where you can play pretty much any format. So yeah,
Yeah. I think some of the hurdles are just like Magic Online, I don't think works well on every client. Then don't quote me,
yeah,
but I've heard like if you're on non PC, it has problems maybe, or you need to run a virtual machine, or at least that was the case in the past.
yeah. You
Uh,
can't do mobile. It's not on mobile, so
yeah, not on mobile. That's kind of a big deal.
yeah,
So a good portion of the Magic player base, some of those younger people don't have as much access to a full computer setup, but
yeah,
our age group, our demographic, and a little younger, 20s and up, I would say, like mid 20s and up, probably have towers and can play online that way. So I don't know. I could see it. I can see it being good for many reasons.
oh
I'm just glad
yeah,
to see they're utilizing the client. It seemed like
yeah,
post
yeah,
Arena was like the forbidden stepchild, and everyone's like, "Get the heck off of here! We're gonna get farmed. All the money, all the value's gone." And
yeah,
yeah, everything's cheap on there except for like handful of lands and stuff. But it's a wild time. It's just fun to see that the whims of fate and who's running the show seems to can really swing things around. How they changed the way they're printing. How like every set seems like it's kind of gold now, as opposed to like that. Secret Layers now on the flop. I would say
Yeah.
like a lot of not good things going on there, and just a change in leadership. I think really or something over there has changed, and some we're navigating some things in better lights.
Yeah, because
Uh,
they really put a focus on more of a focus on Magic Online. With I know for like they had like Magic Online ambassadors, like people in the community to kind of promote Magic Online and stuff. So
yeah, I'm interested in. I'm here for it. Magic Online's pretty cool. It just could use like facelift. Maybe get off that gray background. Let me like upload some art or something. I don't
yeah,
know. Put some frills, bells and whistles on it like you got on Arena. I know you got them. I mean, how hard is it to convert some of that over? I don't need an avatar pet, but like
right.
non-gray playmat would be great. I don't know.
Like something that doesn't look like MS DOS, you know.
Yeah, a little bit. I
Yeah,
understand. Like, I'm probably asking big things of that client, but we'll see. It's
yeah,
the technology experts are out there, and like people are always trying to make a name, and Magic really gets into those people's eyes. I know a lot of IT people who play Magic, so
yeah,
but yeah, but that's kind of all I have for that. And speaking of all the turns around and changes for formats, do we want to get into the bannings and
yeah.
unbannings?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
All right, so today, ban and restricted amounts announcement, and we had a ton of changes. Standard, you're good. Commander, you're good. Sad, you're good. I would have really liked them to just throw some haymaker in there too, but it seems like it might have come with an unbanning, so maybe he stole my tongue. But let me run through the list. Pioneer, Gigantha the Wellspring is banned. Modern, the One Ring is banned. Amped Raptor is banned. Gigantha the Wellspring is banned. Mox Opal unbanned. Green Sun Zenith unbanned. Faithless Looting unbanned. Splinter Twin unbanned. Legacy, Psychic Frog banned. Vexing Bauble banned. And Explorer also. Gigantha the Wellspring is banned.
Yeah,
So
because they're trying to keep Pioneer and Explorer the same, so they're doing the same ban list for both of those formats. But
let me just say, man, Rudolph is off for Christmas. They just banned Rudolph the red green reindeer from Commander from Magic. It seems like almost
yeah,
just not Commander, not Commander. Like they just banned that guy out of here.
that's
So
so that
come on to me.
that's five. Like I read that's five companions that have been banned in one format or another. So there
Oh
was
really?
yeah, so there was 10 companions, and half of them are banned in some format. Even
We got
at
what? Lutri, Luris, Gigantha. Maybe Kahira is banned, possibly. And
um,
that's the green white one with the low restriction.
what's
And
what's the blue green one or blue
blue.
the blue white one?
Oh, Yorion. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yorion
yeah,
banned for sure. Yeah.
yeah. So like that's even after they nerfed the companion mechanic. So
Yeah, plus 3 mana. Still draw a card for free at any time. Sweet.
yeah,
Sorcery speed, no problem. They weren't do nothing cards, and
yeah,
Magic's the thing about card advantage is real. And I think we were in a time when mana was starting to be more of a thing, and it also plays into mana being more important. I mean, that extra card. I mean, and Gigantha just being an extra card for random decks, and just saying, hey, cut a couple of double colored cards. Like,
hmm,
okay. Like, is
yeah,
that really that big of a deal in big formats? Probably not.
yeah.
So, and also it's this weird thing. If you're a new player to a format, like, are you necessarily going to know these cards exist in your building deck? Oh, like everyone, you need your Gigantha. Why? What? Or you're
Yeah.
looking through a card, you're like, oh my god, I can play this card, and then you put it in your deck, and then you get deck checked, and they're like, do you even read what the companion did? Like, oh, I just thought I get a
Yeah.
companion. It's just so just kind of funny there, but
Not only did you read the card, did you read the Oracle text that fixed the companion mechanic?
yeah, yeah, also that, yeah. Yeah, it's so funny that they made these cards, then they changed the mechanic to make it worse. then yeah, just it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Like I like Ocoria, I think it's cool, but just like they keep doing this thing where they're like, let's start something outside the game. Like they're trying to do Commander without doing
Yeah.
Commander.
Yeah.
And every time they do it, it's like, why? Like,
Uh-huh.
are we really that out of ideas for the mains? It's energies outside of the game, emblems,
Yeah.
all these things cause problems and they just keep going to that well. And I don't fully understand why. I mean, people are still happily playing like old Magic. What's that format where it's like not 94, 95, but um where you can play like Terravor and Oath and forget what that format's called.
Uh,
Pre-modern, pre-modern. People are
oh
still
yeah.
playing pre-modern. It's still popular. Like people still want to play that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just if those formats can still be a thing and those they're not even that in depth on what happens in the game, like why are we going to these great lengths to like make this esoteric outside the game thing happen? The dungeons, like dungeons are a great example of or the initiative or
Yeah.
it's just I don't want to hate on it. They have made interesting gameplay. I can't say that. And I've played with many of these cards, but they definitely aren't the ones that I'm like in love with. Like none of them are my love.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you gotta, throw stuff against the wall and see what sticks sometimes. And, you know, they probably thought, that Companion was gonna be great, and not, they didn't foresee all the problems they were gonna have with it. But I don't even think.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy that. But some of those other ones that we talked about, I agree. Companion specifically, I'm like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like you just draw a card and like they didn't spend they just was something was going wrong. I mean, it was close to the pandemic or like it was still they're 2 years behind, right? So it's 2 years before the pandemic. I think it's
Yeah,
just that fire design era where just stuff was they're like go nuts and they took that to heart.
yeah.
And we're still to this day, almost 5 years later, still dealing with it.
And that's not even the like, in my opinion, the biggest ban or unban that is in the list.
Oh yeah? What is your opinion of the
I mean,
biggest band in the list?
I think that, well, for me, it's the unban of Splinter Twin. They're
Oh
just,
really?
yeah, like, I mean, you're just gonna unleash that on the format. And I mean, it's probably not as good as it was. There's probably cards out there that, are better, that can control Splinter Twin, but I mean, I don't know. That's a big chance to take.
Well, you got to beat Solitude, and I believe you have to beat the blue one too. Subtlety? Well, kind of subtlety, but you got to beat Solitude now, which you didn't used to
Yeah,
have to. So it's not just like tap your land, untap, slam Splinter Twin. There's a free spell that can fight you.
yeah.
But and it doesn't get stopped by force negation. I don't know if there's any other free counter spells in
But then,
modern
like, but
that
then
can't fight.
everybody has to play that in their deck or in their sideboard.
Well, and that's not even including all the hate that exists nowadays, right? Like, did
Yeah,
Splinter Twin have to fight against like Fatal Push? Did it have to fight
right.
against like
Yeah,
Unholy Heat and stuff like that? Like, there's a lot more cheap
yeah.
answers to like a Deceiver Exarch than there used to be.
I think people are definitely gonna try it, and I don't think
Oh
it's
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna go as well as they're hoping. But
This to me is kind of like the hey, this is how far away Magic is from 2016. Like we're almost 10 years away. Look how far away. You remember this nightmare deck? It's a joke now.
yeah,
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm ready to be wrong. I don't know. I have not played Modern in a long time, but I I find it difficult. Like cards like Teferi, was Time Raveler exists? Isn't that the three
the
mana
three
one?
three fairy.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
locks out speed. Like good luck.
yeah,
But that's just my opinion. We'll see. The time will tell. I don't know. Maybe flipping in a Johnny on turn 2 or 3 doesn't matter to that deck. I don't know. Maybe it'll have a counterbalance. But I think the unban that shocked me the most was Mox Opal.
oh
Like
yeah,
that is just that type of power level is just so high. But I mean, maybe for artifact decks to exist in the format, you need to give them that type of tool. I
yeah,
mean, it's what they kind of hinged on for years and years, and then once they banned it, it was like, goodbye, Affinity, you're finally dead. Like, and now they're
Yeah.
just sad people can't play Affinity, so they're like, you guys can still play some more, I guess. And I'm not even thinking that is the worst thing probably that you can do. There's been several like 3, 4 mana weird like scrap trawler type cards that I think set up combos. And I remember the second Sunrise style decks. I'm sure there's some other nightmares that will be unleashed by the unbanning of Mox Opal. I mean, they referenced Lantern, and I personally don't think Lantern is a deck that you want in your Magic community, but I'll make the rules, man. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then what else do you think? There's several bands. Amped Raptors ban was really funny to me because you list off like 5 cards from Modern Horizons 3 that are all in the same deck, and they're like, we gotta take a piece out of the Titan out. Let's take the uncommon out. Bam!
Yeah.
Like you're the wrong rarity, son. Bam!
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of like Bloodbraid Elf the more I think about it. Like that card's like kind of like a Bloodbraid Elf sort of thing for 2, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Not a bad card by any means, but I'm just like, you just made all these cards together with full knowledge. Like this isn't the Nadu thing. This was like the plan. So to
Well,
me, that's just like funny.
again, it's one of those, it's energy. One of those things that, you know, you just talked about. You thought was kind of a mistake that they're trying to
Yeah,
force. So.
I don't even know if it's energy really, because energy is great. It's like powerful. I get
Yeah.
it, but like this is just like we know energy's problems, and like here's Bloodbraid Elf for energy. It's like
Yeah.
what? What? That's just my thing with it. It's like, wait, why? Why did we just fuse 2 things that are nuts together?
Yeah.
But that's just me.
So,
But that's funny to me.
I mean, the One Ring was pretty big. I know.
Yeah,
I know it was really oppressive in Modern. Um, like,
yeah.
so I mean, it's cheap now.
Is
Cheaper.
it cheap? I think
It's
it's like
it's
$50 probably, right? Maybe half.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was 100. So,
Yeah.
um, so like
Well, with this banning, why would you even be worried about it? I mean, it'll come back in 5 years and spike up in price randomly.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, if you're want them for Commander, they're
Uh,
fairly attainable now. So
See, now if they'd banned it in Commander, then I would have been like, oh, like could we have done that at the same time? Because I hate playing against that
yeah,
card in
I've never
Commander.
played against it in Commander. So
MTGO is like every deck, just like
really,
that's the annoying thing. It's like, oh,
yeah,
this game was going normal till they played that card that I need a weird like exile. Like I either needed to counter it or I need like a weird exile thing. Like not to say like you can't have that, but like I don't know.
yeah. I played against it a lot in Historic on Arena, but that's my experience with it. So
Yeah, it's like it makes me feel like it's just everybody's necropotence. It's just like everybody gets necropotence now. Like,
yeah, I mean, because
but it's even more aggressive.
I mean, it goes in every deck. So
Yeah,
kind
and
of
then
like
it
the
combos with stuff too. Like people are like Manamo, untap it. This other random thing, untap it. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
Derevi, untap it. I'm like, oh my god.
and
This
then
dude drew his whole deck against me the other day, and I was like, I just F6'd. And then I messaged him, I was like, hey man, how are you killing me? And he's like, oh, I got like Thassa. And I'm like, okay, well, you could have just DM'd me that like 10 minutes ago. Like I like just F6, like put it away. I was like, I wonder how
yeah.
long this guy's gonna go. He's just like untapping guys, cradle tapping it, do. I'm like, come on, man, you have all the mana, all the cards. Like, what's going on? And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that one's funny to me. No outrage though. Is there outrage for this one? Everyone's
I
like,
don't know.
we're supposed to be mad.
I think everybody expected it. I mean, it's for a couple of months now, people have been like, "Yeah, One Ring's probably going bye bye." So
Yeah. So that's just the way to get something banned. You just need to get enough people online being like, yeah, it's like too good. So like, how do we get that? How do I get my campaign going for like banning some stuff that's been a problem? Like,
well, yeah. I
it's like,
mean,
how do you do that? You know?
like if you look back at the Commander bans, I think if they would have, you know, back earlier in the year said, "Hey, we're looking at Mana Crypt and Jewel Lotus," like there wouldn't have been the total like outrage that happened. It was just
Okay.
everybody was blindsided. I think like if they came out, you know, if this just came out of the blue, we're banning the One Ring. I think people would have been outraged, but like everybody saw it coming, so you know
Yeah.
it lessened the blow of it happening.
Yeah, so I just need to start getting some campaigns together. People being like, can we all just agree to the sensible reality that we live in? You know, the One Ring's a piece of crap. You know, the El
Thas
Ring's a problem. You know,
Thassa's
some other
Oracle.
things. Thassa's Oracle. You know, it's just a problem. You know, just kind of
Yeah,
massage that. Like, start. Just say we're looking at fast mana. We're looking at unfun ways to end the game. Can we just like start that now so that like
yeah.
in a year we can be
Well,
like everyone's gonna go like it's fine because like if you ever complained about price, this card was half the value of Mana Crypt. What was the other card they banned that was value? It was Mana Crypt
Jewel
and Jewel
Lotus.
Lotus. This is
Yeah,
like about the same as what a Jewel Lotus was,
yeah.
or more in
Well,
some instances,
the th-
depending on how premium you got. You
the
know?
thing is though, you're talking about bands of Commander where they don't have any data, you know, to support that, whereas they have all the data from these modern events and stuff to pull from that they know that this card is a problem. So and everybody
Oh,
could.
so we need competitive commander to how use our brains. I'm sorry, it just like
Well, I mean, so like everybody could look at the tournament results and see, hey, this card is a problem. It's probably going to get banned. Whereas like with Mana Crypt and Jewel Lotus, like I mean, people knew that it was a problem, but like is it that big of a problem for him to ban it? I mean,
yeah.
the answer is that it was apparently, but like that's the difference. I think is there was no data for them
Well,
to go
it's
off
the
of.
willful ignorance of ignoring CDH. It's like so the data actually
Yeah,
exists because people are forcing their way into making competitive versions of Commander, but they somehow like segregated their minds.
yeah, but
Anyway, I'm reframing the topic onto that, which I shouldn't.
I don't know if
But
Wizards has access to that data or not, though. I'm sure they do somehow, but like there's competitive EDH tournaments that are proxy friendly that don't get reported, and stuff like that. So they don't have as much data for sure,
oh yeah,
if any on the CDH scene. So
I would say they have data. It's not as overwhelming.
yeah,
You know, I actually think their Magic Online data for that would probably be pretty
yeah,
doable. They do have 1v1 commander on there. They do have like multiplayer like whatever commander on there. So like they can get it. It's but anyway, just kind of framing away, just finding it interesting. I want some campaigns for some BS to be extirpated. But I'm happy. I actually like seeing some changes. I mean, I don't think I've heard anyone really complaining today, but I
yeah,
know no one was like raging. A lot of excitement actually.
uh huh,
Like if I played modern, I would probably be a little like spooked by seeing Mox Opal, but like I
yeah.
think I would if I played modern, I'd expect the One Ring. I'd expect Amped Raptor. Maybe I'd probably be okay with Giganta just because like Giganta because it's just like a weird
Yeah,
thing and like not very costly. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I think it's just kind of overall a good day for modern players. I think you get some
yeah,
tools, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, Hollow One, if that's still a deck, having Faithless Looting made it more of a deck
yeah. That's the thing.
again. And
Like now, it gives people a chance to say, to figure out, hey, are these cards still ban worthy? And people are going to try to find that out. I don't,
yeah,
Green Sun Zenith. That I can't believe that's been banned for almost 15 years.
yeah,
2011 is when that card was banned. It's crazy.
yeah. It's
Um,
kind of amazing. I mean, that was a different time. Like elves
yeah,
used to be a thing. Like
yeah,
I remember playing it. I had fun playing it. There was
yeah,
lots of Green Sun Zenith to do.
yeah,
Primeval Titan decks. I don't remember if they were that big of a deal back then, but it works, and now we will see them work with this card. But I think Modern's so high power now that like
yeah,
one mana actually means a lot. Like that green and X. Like before, it was like +1 mana to your green dude. Like when you need it, whatever it is, on time. oh no. And now it's like green sucks. So like who cares? Like what a big dude? Like whoopee. Like
Right.
I need
Yeah.
some red dude or white dude who like does 18 other things. Like
Yeah.
go get your elf. You're already dead for playing that deck.
Yeah.
Like my Ajani kills it. I got my weird bolts. Like green is just not in a good spot. Like everything just murders it. Tarmogoyf is dead. Long
Uh,
live the king. You know,
yeah.
like so. It's just I think they're just like throwing a bone to green and being like, please play this color some more. But that's
Yeah.
just my view, or at least how it's intended. I mean, I would love to play. I love playing elves. I love playing elves, but
Yeah.
with all the cards I've seen, like I'm not playing elves when somebody can just fury me, if that's still a thing.
Yeah.
I think is fury banned? I thought maybe they banned it at one point. I just know at a time I saw fury and I was like, "There's no way I'm ever playing that deck." It is banned in modern. Never mind. Fury's banned. So, but there was a time where fury even existed, and it's like, good luck being a creature deck.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but faithless
Just
looting and
basic
opal,
basic like creature strategies aren't good enough anymore.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, and yeah. So if I had to sum up this whole list, it'd be like good riddance to a handful of cards, and then the faithless looting and mox opal coming back. That's how I would sum up the modern
yeah.
thing. Everything else, okay. Now Legacy. I don't play Legacy. I don't know who is still playing Legacy. I know a couple people maybe, but
Yeah.
uh, for whoever they are, I read Vexing Bauble again today because I hardly read that card. I've seen it in Commander a couple times, and card's pretty annoying. But then I was like, oh, I'm sure I know why they banned this card because Force of Will is such a staple,
Hmm.
like in those
Yeah.
style cards. Like this card is just like, stop playing this format. You know, if Brainstorm was like the baby, grandfathered in, this also hates all that. You can't play Days, you can't play Force of Will, you can't play, so
Yeah.
mud strategies are too good. Now Psychic Frog, man, that's a reanimator card right there. That's like the card I've been dreaming about for Commander for decks for years. It lets me filter my cards into my graveyard. It lets me, hit you, draw a card. It's a threat on its own. It does it all. Big fan of that. But I did like reading that it was too good at playing. It made Reanimator too good of playing a fair game of Magic. And I think just reading that sentence was like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Cards just do it all now. They're not just good on their time of the game. They're just good throughout the game.
Yeah,
And
and like going back to Vexing Bobble, like that is if you don't play that in your deck, which it goes in every single deck, or it can go in every single deck, like if you don't play that card, there's like no compelling reason to not play that card. You
yeah,
know,
there's just why wouldn't you?
so
Yeah. I mean, Vexing Bobble's even more because it's colorless.
right,
You know, the frog at least is like I'm stuck in an archetype because I'm two
yeah,
colors. Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, no,
So
I'm there with you. That monocoloring, the colorless thing is just too much. And really, so I used to play, or I played a lot of like Scrabbling Claws type effects back in Old Commander, and
hmm
then as Relic Progenitus. I really think it's an underrated way to play Commander is like running some like just cards like that in your like Soul Guide Lanterns and stuff like that in your decks where you can just cycle them off, eat the graveyard, even if it's like
hmm
nothing to do with your strategy. Like I'm a beatdown deck. Oh, randomly Relic of Progenitus, draw it, recycle it.
yeah, Relica
Um,
Progenitus was like in every commander deck I built for a long
yeah,
time. Yeah,
it's fantastic. It just hoses and like it's no cost. But that design space of that like cycle me draw a card is very powerful. Like I get an effect and I draw a card, and I think this card kind of was one of the ones that really pushed the envelope of like, hey, I really do a big effect for really a little bit of mana,
right, yeah,
and you can draw a card. Like if this card was like didn't cycle itself, then you can have those hands where you're like, man, I got like two of these things, and I'm like,
yeah,
but it being like one to sack, one to play, it's like there's no cost to this. It's just
right,
free. Like
exactly.
still, Magic's not as insane enough, or we're playing only 1 drops and 2 drops. So like, and free drops, but free drops matter a lot. So when you bridge that gap with that card, like,
Yeah.
yeah, so, but yeah, fascinating. Makes sense. I don't play Legacy, so I'm not still curious about how many people are, but at least they're getting some attention. I mean, I feel like the ban list should be reflective of all the formats that exist. I mean, it's funny to see Timeless, Historic, Brawl aren't super. Alchemy was the one that was kind of funny to me, but they're supporting all their main formats.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Warrior.
I haven't seen like. I think this ban list well definitely wasn't as volatile as the last one, but yeah, I think this one's I think pretty fair. So we'll see how this shakes out. Really.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Excited to see, and
Are
I'm
you?
excited to remember Psychic Frog exists because I need to get one for my commander deck. I think I was waiting for that cool psychedelic frog one to not be $1 jillion. I think it's only $16, so I might pick one up. So,
Another Modern Horizons 3 card that's broken.
yep, does it all, man. Does it all. Hype to get one. But hey,
Well,
it looks sick.
well,
Seems
I
fun.
I have one last thing to talk about that I didn't really tell you about. But did you hear that gold bordered cards are coming back?
What do you mean? No.
So yeah, so you know the box. So Aether Spark has box toppers in their products, and you have a chance to get these cards that have it's called the first place treatment. And so
Okay.
it's like a gold foil, and it also says they're gold bordered cards.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was kind of interesting when I read that. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get some more news on that here in the next few weeks. And
That is spicy news.
yeah, so I don't know like if it's going to be a full on like collector's edition gold border card, or like how they're. I mean, because they already have the rulings on gold bordered cards. Like, do they change that or
Well,
yeah?
so I'm here's my pitch on that. So the collector's edition cards have a different back,
Back,
right?
yeah.
Or not all of them. Some of them
The
have magic back.
so no collector's edition either says collector's edition or international collector's edition on the back,
Okay.
and
And
it's
then those
gold.
dual
There's
and
the
the championship decks also say like championship decks on the back.
yeah, so the world championship decks are the gold bordered ones because
Okay.
the collector's edition is gold on the back, not the front.
Right.
The world championship decks are gold on the front. So
But these ones, these new cards are gold on the front.
yeah,
But they'll have a real magic back.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm into it. That was always a sweet border. I mean,
So
why
yeah,
bother? I mean, they kind of unleashed. I'm pretty sure they unleashed the silver border. I don't even think really has its own place in that anymore. It's just like a tool in the toolbox.
yeah. Well, it's not silver
So
bordered anymore. It's the acorn stamp. So
right,
yeah,
but that means it's unleashed. So just more treatments, more cool treatments. And
yeah,
I did always think those gold borders looked nice. So
yeah. So
I'm interested to
it's a
see
new
some of
it's
that.
a new foiling process too. For these cards that you can only get in the box toppers, and there's something called graffiti giants, which have no clue of what those are. And then there are serialized cards in Aether Spark, but it's only one card that's serialized, and it's the or in Aether Drift, and it's the Aether Spark card is serialized. So you can get the one of 500 of those, which I like.
Ooh,
I don't like serialized cards. I thought that was, I don't know. I hated that for a while because they were doing it like, 20 or 30 cards per set, and it just I don't know. I didn't like them in the first place, but like this is something I can get on board with. If you're going to do serialized cards, I like it where it's one per set, like it's the main card in the set that has the serial option on it. I like
and
that.
not a random cards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
I feel you. I'm into it.
yeah, so
Yeah,
hopefully we get some more info on that. But that's just something I was kind of combing through some of the forums and reading about because, I'm really kind of looking forward to this Aether Drift set and the uh, the bundles and all that. But so that's what I've kind of combed through and found, but there's not a whole lot of information about it yet. So we'll see. But we do know it's a gold foiling process and gold border. So I don't know if it's going to be maybe like the masterpieces from the original
Right.
Kaladesh type thing. So
Ooh,
yeah,
ooh. I mean, yeah, average car now, it's
yeah.
spicy to think about, that would be really something. You said they were called giant cards or something?
Graffiti giants is what.
Graffiti giants. So does that
Yeah,
mean it's going to be like Gear Hulks because they spoiled the Gear Hulk, or is that like
yeah. So
a
there's,
bunch of random big
I
creatures?
think there's 8 of them. They is what they said. So
Huh.
there's
I wonder if that's a thing
so
from Muruganda. Maybe there's some giant giants in the set.
well,
Giants.
what some people are speculating is it's the so the Gear Hulk that we have spoiled so far is dual colored allied colors. So if we got the five allied colored Gear Hulks and then the 3 gods from Amonkhet, that's what people
Oh,
are speculating the 8 are. So
I could see that.
yeah,
That'd be cool. And
yeah,
maybe it'll be like a weird broken one where like they did in um, War of the Spark, where like 4 of them are Gear Hulks and one's something else. You know,
yeah.
one of my favorite cards is from a cycle like that. So the Ilharg. Oh,
Oh yeah,
blessed.
the raised boar.
Oh,
Yeah,
blessed. Love that card. But yeah, so I that's fascinating. I love getting cool versions of my cards. Like I
yeah.
would like all commander decks. Unfortunately, I like weird crappy cards, so those ones don't get the treatments. But I like it to one day, maybe be all full art crazy cards. It's kind of where I'm kind of leaning. I've always been a proponent. I remember when they were doing surveys back in the day, we're like, what do you think about how cards should look? Every single time they ever put out one of those things, I'm like, awesome art, awesome art, awesome art, awesome art. And then I'm like, hey, do you want to talk about this? I'm like, bruh, Pokemon has been going nuts on this art forever. What are you doing? Like, I was just like, get crazy with it. And then they got way too crazy with it.
I was gonna say, so you're to blame for the collector boosters,
Not the collectors. I didn't ask for that.
the
I
secret
just wanted
layers.
cool art. Yeah, I wanted cool arts. That's all I wanted. And like, they've gone so crazy, I don't even know.
Yeah,
But I think I'm all right with it. Like, I wasn't expecting collectors boosters to be that answer. Like, I was like, hey, can every set have that like special lore treatment?
yeah,
Maybe another one.
like the
You know,
masterpieces.
or the full art. I liked it when they started. It was like, here's your setting card. Here's like its setting art, and here's a full art. I was like,
Yeah,
that's great. That's
hmm
like nice and smooth and clean. Now it's like, here's the art. Here's the other special art. Here's the regular. Here's this. I'm like, bruh, that is not what I meant.
and the 3 different foil versions.
Yeah, here's a
Yeah.
foil you can rub your finger on. I was like, that was not the thing I was trying to get them to take from Pokemon, but
Here's
whatever.
invisible ink.
I mean, if that helps sell stuff and it really like adds for people, and to me at that point it's beyond where I care. Like at least I can have my cool thing. I think I'm fine with it,
Yeah,
because actually that means I get a better chance of getting the cool thing I like. Like I have my Lumra, my $15 Lumra, that's like got the cool like bear,
yeah,
whatever style you call that, and I don't want the one where he's got like 2 rabbits dropping off the side. It looks cool, but it's like I don't need that one.
yeah,
So, they can have the super expensive one. I get the second one, Everyone kind of wins, I guess. I need those big spenders to be buying those cards and playing with them, so okay.
yeah.
I do feel salty every time I get missed up on one though. Like, oh, I didn't get the Scarab God. Like it's
Oh,
been almost
yeah.
10 years and I'm still like I didn't get the Scarab God. I'm just like I didn't get that freaking card.
Yeah.
And it just etches under my skin a little bit more every day as I
Maybe
wait for them to make another cool art and then it fails.
put it on your
So,
Christmas list.
yeah, right. Somebody's gonna just give me a $250 card or something. I ain't worried about it, but and it ain't that important to me. I'd be like, can you actually buy me some other thing that I need for $250? But
Like
yeah,
electricity for the month.
yeah, please something like. Can you buy me? Oh no, no. What I need is those adjustable weights. Like the where you click and then you lift up.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
a gun
yeah,
weight. Like that's 250, but give me that. I'm a personal trainer. So, I need that. Yeah. So, but no, Magic's had a really good day. We had unbannings and we have good news, fun, interesting things. Aether Drift
yeah.
just keeps stacking little excitements onto me that I'm like, okay, tell me more.
Yeah,
What's this?
yeah.
You
I've
know,
seen a
slow
lot of
burn.
people. I've seen a lot of people like at the when they first announced this set before anything came out, except for like the logo and the Chandra doing the Akira slide. Like people were like I've saw mostly negative comments about this set, but since they released that Planeswalker guide last week, and they've shown the story and all that stuff, like I've seen people starting to get more on board with this set, so that kind of makes me happy because I was day one, I was on board, and so yeah, I think I'm gonna be happy
Yeah.
regardless, but
No, I know. I'm glad. I like it. What I do like is so like not everything's for everybody, right?
yeah,
But what I like is when you take this thing that's not for everybody in Magic, and then you put the Magic veneer on it, and then it becomes something for everybody. And I think
right,
this set is Magic at its best, where it's putting its veneer on something,
yeah,
like making it for everybody. And that's what Magic does best. I don't know if I want them to like snatch another IP and just do it. I want you to take that IP and do it as Magic.
hmm,
Like I think now I don't know, maybe it is just better to do Marvel than be like, here's Magic's Marvel knockoff
right,
equivalent like other
yeah,
games have done.
yeah,
So maybe there is a time and place for it to be not a veneer when it's just too far away. But like Final Fantasy veneered Magic thing, I think would make sense. But anyway, just funny. But I'm glad that I can be excited about Aether Drift because when I hear the concept, I'm like, what?
yeah,
Really? And then as it gets closer and closer, I'm like, Gear Hulks, let's go. I'm like, oh, what's this? Overrun all these like woos people? Like, what? Okay. Like, all
yeah,
right, I'm into it. Like, it didn't take me too much. Like, you got dinosaurs, you got cars. I'm like, oh, this makes me think of that video game I used to play at CC's Pizza. Like, all right, all right.
yeah,
And I'm happy you're happy. Like, it was what was the cowboy set? I remember I went to my one of the local stores around here for the cowboy set,
Thunder
and I
Junction,
was like, Thunder Junction. I'm just like, I'm not on board for that. I was like, nope, nope, hater, hardcore hater the whole time. Just like this is not for me. Nope, don't like it. And which Markov Manor or
Mark,
Karlov Manor, all kind of. I don't like the detective hats. Didn't like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But Thunder Junction, I was diehard hater. I'm like, this is nope. Show up to the pre-release night to play some commander and trade and stuff, and I look around, I see a guy in a cowboy hat. He's got one of those little like horse sticks with the head on it. And, like people are having a good time, just being cowboys and stuff, and like that's a part of Americana culture,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and I've heard little bits of the story and stuff, and it's kind of cool, and I can that at least is a justified L to me. Like what I would
hmm,
hate to do is go to the Magic store and then walk in and like everyone's like, yeah, I guess we're playing the cowboy set because we
yeah,
need some cards and we really hate the setting. Instead, a bunch of people were happy,
hmm,
so that's good.
yeah,
And people I didn't expect even.
or even worse, nobody's there for the pre-release.
Right,
So
right. But yeah, so again, that's just all I want to echo is like I'm okay with having these, and like really, we're at a point where I have to accept a lot of
yeah,
whatever and just be what it
yeah,
is. So every time I'm always just looking for things that are like for me still getting
hmm,
Tarkir, still getting like I'm still looking forward to the next time we do a Dominaria right or Dominaria proper.
hmm.
We've done that a couple of times, so I don't think we're missing out. We did what was Dominaria Remastered was what last year. Or was that this year?
That was last year because this year was Ravnica remastered.
Yeah, so and Dominaria Remastered was like definitely for me
Hmm.
like one of the best booster boxes I think I've ever opened in my life. I opened a collector's booster of that, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like all the nostalgia, like every card, everything. I was like, oh, and I'm busting like cool cards for Commander. I'm like, oh, styles, so they're playing to me. And Modern Horizons 3 kind of like did that, like does that mish of old new,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
it's a little too powerful. But even though I felt like it was powered down relative to previous, I don't know if this is right, but in my mind, it's powered down relative to some of the previous ones in my imagination from my Commander stilted experience. But
how many
uh,
how many cards were banned from the other Modern Horizon sets though?
that's what I mean. Like I'm pretty sure those were kind of crazy too. So, but yeah, so this one seemed like less heinous. I think the card that's still bugging me the most right now that exists is the One Ring, and now I'm like, okay,
Yeah. Well, now you don't have to
Well,
worry
we
about
have
it.
some evidence against it, So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so cool day of Magic overall. I think bans on bans. I'm sure there's somebody complaining online, but that's the still I got from a bunch of excitement. People going, I can play with Green Sun Zenith. Oh my
Right. Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah. I can buy my.
Fearless Looting's back.
I got my Splinter Twins. Yeah.
Anyone who's looking for Mox Opal, they might. I could see somebody being a little annoyed with that in a couple weeks, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, so
Is that going to do it for today?
I think that's all I have to say about today's news. What about you,
Okay.
Josh?
Yeah. I think that's it.
All right,
I'm gonna.
Christmas approaches right
Yeah.
behind you.
I'm gonna plug my advent calendar. Going live every day. I just went live before we started recording today, so yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas, man, baby. That's the big one there. So
It's coming.
yeah, I'm gonna go live on Christmas. So if you're want to break from the family, come head over to
See,
YouTube and watch me open some presents. So
are you gonna have your family there being part of the endeavor? You're just gonna pack them all in that room and just
no,
make them watch with you?
they can watch online. I need the views. So
Oh, okay. Well, they can have their phone and they can sit in there. It's like, look.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Well, all right, Josh.
Well, don't forget to like, shower, and subscribe. And me and Nick will see you guys next time.
See you later.